God has plans to prosper you, give you hope and a future too. So let me remind you of what you have the power to do. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals, be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. We've got a wellness church by home. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired, to rise a little higher with Cassandra Mack. You got haters, they gon' hate. Keep your head up and just be great. You can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. Let's get motivated with Cassandra Mack. Today we're talking about 4 tips to shut down that hard-to-take family member who knows just what to say to get under your skin, who's going to be at the family gathering. So before we share the 4 tips, there are 2 things that we need to do mentally and emotionally to keep your spirit fortified and to be emotionally in a place where you are exercising discipline and emotional control, emotional mastery. So the first is John 14 and 27. John 14 and 27. And it says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." So the first thing that is important, just as a prerequisite before we even get into the tips, is knowing where your peace comes from. So your peace doesn't come from people behaving the way you want them to behave. And sometimes we have this fantasy based on TV, social media, that when we get around family during the holidays, that everything's going to magically change. You know your family. You had enough wheelings and dealings with them. And so it is important for you to understand that it is not your family that is in control of your peace. They're not the giver of your peace. Therefore, they can't take it away. Because peace is something on the inside that comes from God through Christ. And so for the believer, it is important that you really cement yourself in this scripture so that if you choose to go to the family gathering, because maybe there are other members you want to see, people that you love, you want to connect with, you haven't seen for a while, but then they're going to be them 1 or 2 cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever, who know just what to say to annoy you to no end and to frustrate you, or just to really be mean, right? You're going to see both of those people, but your focus is wanting to connect with the people that you want to be around. So it's important to know that your peace comes from God, and that annoying cousin, that annoying sibling, that mean-spirited, narcissistic, toxic family member, they don't get to control your inner peace. So that's the first thing you want to do, just to get your mind fortified, get your spirit resilient. Second is James 1 and 19. James 1 and 19, and it simply says, "Let everyone be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to be angry." But most people are the opposite. Most people are quick to speak and slow to hear. When you are slow to speak, you don't say the first thing that comes out of your mouth. You don't say the first thing that comes to mind. You're not quick to just reveal your hand. You're not quick to always tell people how you feel. You're not always quick to give someone a piece of your mind. You reserve and choose what it is you want to say. You're very intentional with your words. You're intentional with how much information you reveal about yourself, because even our anger, when we are out of control, that is revealing something about ourselves. That is allowing someone to see how they can get to us, where our vulnerabilities are when we lose it. And so when you are slow to speak, you are also slow to reveal your hand. You are also slow to make yourself vulnerable to people who you know are looking for your weak points, a way to get at you, a way to get under your skin, right? When you are quick to hear, it means you're taking everything in. You are truly listening and taking everything in, the dynamics, the body language, the tone of voice. You're also listening to yourself when you are quick to hear, like, what is the Holy Spirit telling me? Because sometimes when we are not quick to hear, we are listening to the flesh. But when we are quick to hear, we're like, what is the Holy Spirit saying I need to do in this moment? Do I need to get up? Do I need to set a boundary? Do I need to remove myself and leave? Like, what do I need to do? What is the Holy Spirit saying? But if we are not quick to hear, we're not going to be able to hear what the Holy Spirit is trying to tell us relative to this person, this dynamic, the specific situation, what's being said and what's happening in the moment, because we're too emotional and triggered to be able to hear what the Holy Spirit is saying. And so this is why we got to slow things down, especially when you're dealing with someone who knows just what to say to get at you, to get under your skin, to rattle you. So those are the two things that are really going to lay the foundation for the 4 tips, so that mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you put yourself in a resilient and fortified place. With that out of the way, here are the 4 tips, and each tip is designed to use with a specific type of individual. So the first tip is the one-upper. It's for the one-upper. So you have this family member, let's say, that always one-ups you. And let's say that you are talking to your grandmother, your uncle, your aunt, whoever you're talking to, and this is someone who you have a connection with, you have a good, positive relationship with, and you're sharing something wonderful. You're sharing some good news that happened to you, your children, your grandchildren, whatever it is that's going on in your life, something you're happy about, something you're excited about. And as you're talking about this thing, this cousin, this sibling, this aunt, this uncle is within earshot, and maybe you didn't really notice it, because you're in a celebratory moment. You're rejoicing. You're just in the flow of what you're talking about. And as they overhear what you're talking about, they insert themselves in the conversation. Well, oh, your child graduated high school. Well, my child graduated college. Oh, you graduated college. Well, my child got a double master's. Your child just got a master's degree. Well, mine is working on their 3rd PhD. I mean, it never ends, right? Oh, you lost 15 pounds. Well, last year I lost 25 pounds. Oh, you got a raise? Me too. I got a raise too. And my raise was for $20,000. And I am running the whole department. And this is your moment. And you are happy that these things are happening to this individual, but you are having a conversation with this one family member in this moment. And this is this cousin, this sibling who has a habit of constantly doing this to you. So they are a one-upper. They always have to one-up somebody when someone is celebrating some good news, right? Somebody is rejoicing in the moment. Now, here's the thing. The natural tendency, what the flesh wants to do when people one-up you, and it's normal, it's natural, is to one-up them back. But what happens is when you one-up them back, when you go back and forth, what you've just done, whether you realize it or not, you've entered into a competition. And if you were clear that you were not competing with this individual, then there's no need to one-up them back. Don't even play the game. That's the tactic. That's the tip. So here's the thing. The minute you go back and forth with them, you're in a competition. But if you are clear, and this is going to sound harsh, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you are clear that you are competing with no one but yourself, and if you feel like even on your best day, honey, you couldn't compete with me. Now, you're not saying that, but you may feel this way because you know where you're going and what it is that you're doing. Then there is no need to compete with that person. And so the technique is to not play the one-up game and to be calm and congratulatory. Now, this is going to go against the flesh because the flesh does not want to congratulate someone who is one-upping them. But you have to remember that you are, as a believer, in a place where you are not operating from your flesh, right? That's the flesh talking. And so when you understand that you are operating from a higher level, you want a whole nother level. And you realize that this individual can't even compete with me. So I'm not going to enter into a competing game. You're not going to compete with me on my level of integrity. You're not going to compete with me on my level of confidence and self-esteem, because the fact that you had to come over here to insert yourself in a conversation where I'm not even talking to you, to brag about what it is you're doing when you're not even a thought process in this conversation, shows that you are insecure. So that already shows that you've already removed yourself from the competition. You forfeited the competition, and there is no competition. And so when you really feel that you are not competing, you are not going to need to one-up them. You will be able to congratulate them even when you know they're trying to get at you. So when they say, oh, well, my son got a double master's degree. Rather than being shady, you could just be like, you know what? Congratulations. I know you're proud. I know that's a proud moment. Congratulations. And you could say it with all sincerity because you are not competing with them. It is almost like dealing with a 5-year-old in the spirit. If you were dealing with a 5-year-old, and let's say you're an athlete and you run marathons, and you have a 3-year-old that's like, I can beat you in the marathon, and you know that that's not true. You are not going to argue with a 3-year-old. You may even let the 3-year-old think they won, just so that they can be nice and be quiet. And so similarly, when you are dealing with a 3-year-old in the spirit, because they are not at your level of maturity, if they are coming over to you and one-upping you, you're not on the same level. The fact that they've done that, no matter what they say, shows that they are in a different place from you emotionally, right? So you can be calm and congratulatory, but it takes a crucifying of the flesh. Because if you are not competing with someone, I have nothing to prove to you. Like, this is going to be hard to say this without sounding a little harsh. But when you are focused on your goals and what it is you're building, like, you're not even in the circumference of my thought life. Like, I so do not think about you. And so when you are on a path and you know that you are not thinking about this person, but they are, you are constantly on their mind, you are in two different places. Your mind is filled with your goals, your dreams, the tasks that you're trying to do to achieve those goals and dreams for the betterment of your life, your family, your community, your calling. You ain't got time for this foolishness. So remain calm and you can be congratulatory, because what that does is it shuts down the competition. Because what they're looking for you to do when they're in a place of insecurity, they want to disturb your peace. And the minute you enter into a competition with someone who feels insecure, you've already allowed them to have a piece of your peace, whether you realize it or not. There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove to somebody who doesn't even matter to you in the grand scheme of your life. And I'm not saying they don't matter as a human being to God. What I'm saying by they don't matter to you, they are not in the cycle of your focus. They're not where you focus your attention. So when you're clear about that, you will be able, even when you know what they're trying to do, you'll be able to say, oh, congratulations, that's, I know you're proud, or congratulations, that's a big accomplishment for your son. Because you are happy that your son graduated high school. And that's your thing. You're not in a competition with them. Doesn't matter. You're not even concerned with what they're doing. So you are able to be calm and congratulatory. And they're going to be shocked, because when a person is trying to one-up you, what they want to do is pull you into a ping pong shouting match, because it doesn't have to be a shouting match, but it's a ping pong competitive match is a better way of saying it. Because each time you one-up each other, you're revealing more and more information to someone who doesn't have your best interest in mind. Why would I tell you what's going on with my son, my daughter, my aunts, my uncles, whoever's in my family? Why would I be revealing that stuff to you when I know you're in a place of envy, insecurity, and competitiveness towards me? And so when you enter that ping pong match, you are revealing more and more. You don't need to know, oh, that my son got a new car, or my daughter got a new this, or my son graduated here, or my daughter did this, or my uncle. You don't need to know nothing about me by way of my mouth. And so I'm never going to enter into a one-upping match. You don't even need to know the neighborhood I live in. You don't need to know nothing. Zilch, nada. And so when you're in that space, it is going to free you from allowing someone who is operating at a lower vibrational level from you being in that same place. And this teaching is not for everybody, because people are going to be offended by the directness of this truth, by the directness. Truth is like a laser beam, and a laser beam cuts. It can cut, it can burn. The second individual that we're going to talk about is the person who likes to joke at your expense. So this is tip number 2 for that family member who likes to joke at your expense. So this is the family member who's going to say something mean-spirited and make it seem like it is a joke. So they will say something mean-spirited about you. They're going to say something callous and cold about you. They're going to say something humiliating about you for the purposes of saying what they really want to say, but disguising it under the camouflage of humor. So when a person jokes at your expense, right, a lot of times what people will say to do is to use I language to tell them how you feel. And I will tell you, as a trained social worker, that's my background, and we were taught about using I language. Why I believe that I language doesn't always work. I language works if you're dealing with an individual who has empathy. But if you are dealing with someone who is trying to hurt you deliberately, and they don't care how you feel, then telling them how you feel only reveals where you are vulnerable. They don't care. They don't care. So when you understand that an individual, oh, you trying to hurt my feelings. You're trying to break my spirit. You're trying to harm my confidence. And so if that's what you're trying to do, and I say, well, it hurt me when you said A, B, C, D, you already know it hurt me. You were looking for a way to hurt me. That's why you said it. So I language doesn't always work when you're dealing with a narcissistic personality type and extremely toxic personalities. So when someone is joking at your expense, an effective tactic is to call the joke out, And so you're going to call the joke out, but from a place of calm, without revealing your vulnerabilities. So let's say, for example, boy, you so big, you look like a house. You look like 5 houses. Boy, how many houses did you eat? We're going to say that. We're going to say something, and they know that that's hurtful. They know it's mean, and they are laughing. They see the look on your face as soon as they said it. And they are laughing, cracking up because they wanted to hurt you. And let's say that, you are in your moment where you are moving forward on some goals, some dreams. You're doing good in life. You're making progress and headway. And they want to just snatch. They want to snatch the smile. They want to snatch the joy. They want to snatch your smile. They want to make you feel as miserable as they feel. So they look for the easiest target, the thing that they could quickly say, what can I say to this person that I believe may hurt them, that I already know is a sensitive thing, that I know is inappropriate? What can I say to really get the dagger in there? But I don't want to look like I'm trying to be mean because I got to play it off around my other family members. So we're going to act like we jokey. And good and well, they're not joking, right? And so what you want to do is, again, you want to be clear that this is no laughing matter, but from a place of calmness without revealing your vulnerability. So essentially, you're going to have to guard your heart. You're going to speak, but you need to speak while guarding your heart. So you might say something along the lines of, I don't know why you would think that it is funny to make a joke about ... And then you're going to fill in the blanks. In this example, we'll say the weight. I don't know why you would think it's funny to make a joke about my weight and to say that I look like I've eaten 3 houses. That is actually quite mean-spirited. Were you trying to be mean-spirited? They're not going to like this. They are not going to, and then just be quiet. And the people around you, they're going to get quiet. Just be quiet. What you're doing is you are holding up a mirror to their behavior, which is a cause for accountability. And even if they won't take accountability, you still held up a mirror. It's exposing. It is calling it out. It is calling out the joke as a form of verbal aggression. You were not joking with me. You were being hostile towards me. And you're not saying all of this. You're simply going to say, I don't know why you would say ... And then you're going to repeat what they said because you don't know why. You're not in their head, right? I don't know why And the minute you say, you know why, they'll argue with you. So you take the argument out. You're going to take all the power away. These are advanced strategies that I teach in my courses. So I'm giving you a tidbit of this. So I don't know why you would say that I look like I ate 3 houses. And this is why also you have to be quick to hear and slow to speak, because it's going to be hard to get the words out because it's hurtful. So you need to pause so that you can say it without crying, without raising your voice, but firm. You can be stern in your tone so that they understand I'm not playing with you, but you're not crying and you're not raising your voice. So I don't know why you would say that I look like I ate 3 houses as a joke. It comes across as mean-spirited. Are you trying to be mean-spirited? And you're going to leave it there. Now you're going to see the demons come out. Why would you say that? Don't justify. Let them sit in that. Just like you had to sit with the joke about eating 3 houses, let them sit in that. It is not your responsibility to work through their emotions for them. You are simply asking the question because you both know what it is, and you are bringing it above board like, I'm not playing with you. Well, why would you say I'm mean-spirited? Now, you never said it. You said it comes across as mean-spirited. Are you trying to be mean-spirited? You're asking a question, but don't repeat yourself. No matter, don't repeat, let them sit with it. They're not going to want to sit with it. They're going to want to pull you into an argument because now you've enraged them. And the reason you've enraged them is because you've exposed the joke for what it is, cruelty, camouflage as humor. You've exposed, and you got to remember that narcissistic and toxic people do not want to be exposed. So they're not going to like it. When they're operating in that demonology, them demons don't want to be exposed. But what do you mean by that? Don't explain what you mean. Let them sit with that. Then what you're going to do is excuse yourself. Let them sit with it. Excuse yourself. Go and talk to somebody else. Go to the bathroom, excuse yourself, and pick up your phone. Let them sit with it. And they may come back, well, I just really want to know what you meant by that. Why did you ask me that? What you meant by that? Listen, we're here to have a good time. We at the family gathering to have a good time. I'm going to enjoy myself. Yeah, I just want to know. Don't say another word. Let them sit with it. They can ask you 100 times. Give them your silence. And so when you practice these strategies, it sends the message, you will not rattle me. I will not give you the keys to hurt me. I will not give you the keys to think that you can trigger me. Whatever it is that you want to say to try to hurt me, there's nothing you can say to me that I don't already know. And whether I'm working on it or not working on it is none of your business. Now, you ain't got to say all of that. Your silence says that. You ask the question, let them sit with that question. Don't expound on the question. Don't tell them why. They know why you said it, just like they said you look like you ate 3 houses. It is calling out inappropriate behavior. 3, third tactic. The person who wants to remind you of a messy past every chance they get. So let's say that you recover from alcoholism and you have been clean and sober for the past 5 years. But every family gathering, it could be Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, I don't know, whatever holiday, birthday parties, anything, graduations, baptisms, bridal showers, baby showers. Whatever the gathering is where family is, and it could be family and friends, they're going to bring up the story of when you were so drunk, you threw up all over the bathroom. And you have been clean and sober. You have apologized. You tried to make amends. You've been clean and sober for years. That happened 5 years ago. And they won't let it go. And they love to tell the story when you're around a bunch of people. So what will happen is the natural tendency or the flesh is going to want to be like, I can't believe you, and why you keep bringing that up, and now don't do all that. You're going to be as cool as a cucumber, baby. You ain't giving nobody your peace nor your power. Don't give nobody your peace, your power. Don't even give them your passion. Don't give them your peace, your power, or your passion. So, no. What you're going to do is when they want to bring up your messy past, you're going to give God the glory for your story. Give God the glory for your story. That's one of my songs. It's a worship song. little plug in there. So you can definitely get my worship song, Glory for My Story. The link is in the video description box. But you're going to give God the glory for your story. So what you're going to do is you're going to give your testimony. The abbreviated version. And you're going to say, you know, I'm so grateful and thankful to God for delivering me out of alcoholism. God is a deliverer. So whatever the thing is that they're going to bring up, I'm so grateful and thankful to God for delivering me out of ... because they want to shame, humiliate, and embarrass you. And by you telling your own story in your own words, they cannot use it against you. But here's part 2. Be ready, be ready, be ready. Be ready, get ready, get ready, be ready. Part 2 is you're going to say a little prayer for them. And I pray that God deliver you from the things that you struggle with. Now, they're not going to like this. They're not going to like this. You're going to give your testimony. You're going to talk about how God's a deliverer. And I pray that God deliver you from your inner struggles. I pray that God deliver you from constantly bringing up a past. I pray that God deliver you from gossip. I pray that God deliver you from envy and mean-spiritedness. God's a deliverer. You go to God in prayer because God delivered me from alcoholism. And if God delivered me from alcoholism, he can deliver any of us from anything. To God be the glory. Now, they're going to be hot because the goal was to shame and humiliate you. You've taken all the power away. And when you say, and I pray God deliver you, don't say it from a place of sarcasm. Don't say it from a place of you trying to cut them and hurt them. You are being honest. Like, you need to stop. You need to get control of this. And if you don't want to say the specific thing because you know your family member and it will only agitate the situation more, you can just simply say, and I pray that God deliver and heal you in the areas where you need deliverance and healing, as we all fall short of the glory. You can say it that way. That's a more calmer way of saying it. Because everybody has something. Now, they're going to come back and say, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't need deliverance from... That's not your goal. It is not your goal nor your problem to be sitting there arguing. At this point, they're a job for Jesus. You done already said the prayer. I pray that God deliver and heal you from the things that you also need healing and deliverance from, like God delivered me and healed me from alcoholism. So I give God the glory, and I'm not ashamed of my testimony. So you're going to take the power away, and the people are going to start looking at them like, when are you going to shut up about this? When are you going to stop? See, sometimes we got to help people help themselves, especially when they want to be toxic. We got, no more. We're going to stop this. So they may say, well, what do you mean? You don't need to expound. You done already said the prayer. Pray God deliver and heal you from the things you need deliverance and healing from, just like God delivered and healed me from alcoholism. So I thank you for giving me a chance to share my testimony. 4, the 4th tip is for the person who want to tell you about yourself unsolicited. And so similar to number 3, but 3 is your past. Right? This is the person that want to bring up something God already delivered you from. So that was 3. But 4 is the family member who wants to tell you about the qualities they don't like about you. And none of us are perfect. We all fall short of the glory. And they're taking the family gathering as the opportunity to do that, rather than having a one-on-one conversation with you in a different time and place. Well, you know, you always act like you so much better than everybody, and you think you and your kids are better than us. So they're taking the opportunity to do that, right? And you know, I'm looking at your posts, and you know, you always talking about your nursing job, or you always showing pictures of your house. You showing off with your house. So what, you got a house? You ain't the only one that got a house. And you were like, oh my gosh. So when you're dealing with that type of family member and that level of aggression and toxicity, this is the response. Do not correct them, because when you correct them, you give them more fuel to keep going. So when you say, well, no, that's not true. That's what I mean by correct them. When you say, no, that's not true, I'm not a snob, they're going to give you 7 more reasons why they feel you're a snob. Whether it's true, not true, the conversation is not going to stop. Remember, the goal is to shut it down. So in that instance, you would say something along the lines of, it's unfortunate that you feel that way. Especially if you know it's not true. Now, when they're talking about something that's true, if it's something that is true, you may say, now's not the time to address this. But if it's something that you know is not true and it's just them being jealous of you, like you always showing pictures of your house and I'm so sick and tired of looking at your house. Like, you're not making them follow you on social media. You didn't put a gun to their head and say, you better watch all my posts. They could easily unfriend you. They could easily block you from social media. And let's say that they act like they don't follow you. You'd be like, well, how you know? I thought you didn't follow me. You ain't going to say all that. You're just going to say, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. We family. That's unfortunate. And that's it. But what you mean that's unfortunate? What you trying to do? Not elaborate. You don't owe them an explanation for their hostility and their nastiness. You don't owe a toxic person a whole account of why you are setting a boundary. You don't owe them that. So, we're family. It's unfortunate you feel that way. That's unfortunate. We're family. Well, I know we family, but I'm just saying, at that point, excuse yourself. There's nothing more to say. See, they want to get you upset. I've seen instances even with my clients where it's a family member that's so jealous to the point where they want to physically fight that person. And so they want to get you to the point where you lose it so that they have a reason to come at you with extreme physical aggression and just ruin your outfit. Ruin your day. So you want to be mindful, we're family. That's unfortunate. You can just leave it at that. You don't even have to say you feel that way. You can just say, you can shorten it to, we're family. That's unfortunate. Well, I know we family, but you act like we not family and you act like you so much better than everybody. Don't ask them why they feel that way. Because when a person is in a state of envy, you can't quench that. You can't quench that. That's like drinking from a bottomless well. You cannot quench that. So no response you give is going to satisfy their need to humble you and see you lower than them. They are a job for Jesus. They are a job for Jesus. Jesus died on the cross for mankind. You didn't. I had to tell somebody that the other day. Listen, Jesus died for you, but I didn't. So what we not going to do is you're not going to take my peace. And you cannot have my life energy. My emotions are my life energy. So I'm not going to argue with you. I pray. You got to go to God for yourself. See, because I ain't died for you. I didn't get on the cross for you. So you are a job for Jesus. And as we begin to move from this place, you will find that you will not get as triggered, even by the most toxic of family members. You will respond with calmness and even compassion. There's compassion in here. There's compassion in these tactics. This is why you're not going toe-to-toe. That's coming from compassion. You're not going toe-to-toe with them. You're not being nasty. You're being truthful. And the truth can hurt. Your goal is not to hurt them. Your goal is to cut away the clutter and the demonic energy. To cut away that stuff. To cut that away from you. It's unfortunate that you're in that place, but I can't go there with you. I came here to enjoy myself. Whatever they think about you is none of your business. It's none of my business you think I'm a snob. It's none of my business that you think ... That's really none of my business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. What you think about me has absolutely nothing to do with me. So as a believer, when you understand that what other people think about you is really none of your business, it's only how God sees you. And what God is doing for you, with you, and through you. And so as you begin to put these tips into place when you're dealing with the one-upper, the joker at your expense, the individual who wants to remind you of a messy past that God has delivered you from every chance you get, and number 4, the person who want to tell you all the things they don't like about you unsolicited. They have a job for Jesus. And you got to remember that your peace comes from God through Christ. And be quick to hear and slow to speak. So when you put that together, that's going to help you to be spiritually fortified, mentally fortified, strengthened emotionally, so that people who are operating from an unhealed place don't rob you of your healing in God through Christ. So I hope you found that helpful as you begin to figure out what it is you're going to do this holiday season. Again, I want to encourage you, if you need some assistance with just really knowing who you are in God, pick up my book, Speaking Life into Your I Am. That is a book that takes 25 Bible verses that speak to our identity as children of God. And it shows you how to affirm the scripture, how to walk it out, how to show up as that person. Speaking Life into Your I Am, available at Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And I also want to encourage you, if you're looking for like last minute gifts for Christmas, pick up my book, Simple Prayers for the Holidays. That makes a great stocking stuffer, a nice gift to give to a coworker. And Simple Prayers for the Holidays really takes into account all the ways we experience the holidays, and it offers prayers for that. And then lastly, if you are not a member of the Cassandra Mack YouTube channel, I would encourage you to become a member. When you're a member at the 2nd tier or higher, you get access to our Wednesday Wellness Club, our replays of the Church by Phone service. Live Church by Phone is always free and open to the public, but you may want the replays. That's available through membership at the 2nd tier or higher. We have an online book club and so many other amazing things. So check out membership. Click on the link that says join. Click on the link in the description box. You'll also see it there, and you'll see that there are 3 levels of membership. And you can select the level of membership that feels right for you. So with that being said, have a happy and a blessed Thanksgiving. God bless you. Thank you for your support. I want to say thank you to all the members of the Cassandra Mack YouTube channel. Thank you for those of you who sow into this ministry with your financial offerings. I could not do what I do without you. We could not do what we do without you. So we thank God for you, and may God continue to bless you richly. Carry yourself.